Good evening, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. I keep thinking today is Saturday because my dad was home today and we ended up getting a ton of project stuff done, so that because like my mom will be taking her Saturday nap tomorrow in the afternoon and then working all day on Sunday, and then she'll be sleeping most likely for a good portion of the day on Monday. We don't really have a whole ton of time to like be able to get to a lot of projects and stuff like that over the weekend. So since my dad was home today, we wanted to take full advantage of that. So what we wound up getting done today, I didn't wake up insanely early this morning, but I think I was up still by about 9 or 10 o'clock, something like that. We ended up going out into the garden. My dad's, we still have to stain some of the wood for the vegetable gardens, that we still have our raised beds that we still have to put in. But what I ended up doing while my dad was sort of he had to till the ground and then to get it all level and everything, and then he was putting the boards in, and again we didn't, because my dad's just gonna do both the double beds right away, so he ended up only doing half of it, so we didn't actually like completely finish it yet. But then while he was doing that, I was actually getting our first harvest of the year, first vegetable garden harvest, and I pulled our radishes, and we also had one tomato that was ripe, the first tomato that we've gotten. So I took a picture of that. The radishes, there's still a handful of them, there's still ones left in the vegetable garden that I didn't wind up picking because they were actually pretty small. But the ones that I did pick, I think my mom said too, she was like, they were like the perfect size. Like normally the size that we wind up getting in the grocery store was the size that we ended up picking, and like I said, I picked all the ones that to me looked like the right size. There could have still been a couple in there that were sort of big, but everything else to me looked at least pretty, like I said, pretty small. So I ended up doing that, and then my dad ended up running to Menards to pick up the dirt for the vegetable garden bed that we were working on. But we still have to get more soil to finish the next area, so we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to go there and to Home Depot because we have to get some stones from Home Depot, like stepping stones that they don't sell at Menards, like anything that's like similar to the type of stepping stones that we're looking for. The ones Menards has is like the fake stone looking ones. They look like they're like from molds, whereas the other ones that we were looking at, like some was actual, I think, sandstone from what's it called, from Home Depot, and some of it might have been from mold, but it looked like more natural. Like the ones at Menards didn't really look like that. And so again, what we need to do for our grilling gazebo area that we're going to do over there, we want to put because we have pea gravel over there that we ended up doing on that side, but we want to put like the grilling gazebo and the what's it called, like the grill and the blackstone on like some type of like actual like stone, so that it's not just going straight down into the pea gravel, probably through the plastic into the dirt. We wanted to put some type of stone to sort of distribute the weight out, and so that's what we were planning on doing. But like I said, we have to go to Home Depot to get that. Plus we're gonna get, I think we have all of the wood to finish all of the vegetable garden beds, and I'll share with you guys when we actually get to building those. But instead of on the house side, we had to stop a half of a bed short because of the vents from the crawl space. And so we can actually, on the other side though, away from our house, we can go another full bed instead of the half bed. So we had a little bit more to add over there, but we have all of the wood for it, but not all the soil. So we still have to buy that. But then when my dad went and ran there to go and do that today, I was staining more of the wood, so that, again, my dad said that in the morning he's going to try and stain the last pieces that we need and we can get a full bed. And normally we only work in like half beds, like we'll get like a half bed in, fill it with dirt, you know, plant whatever and that kind of stuff. But we should, again, by this weekend have another full bed in, and then it'll probably be, again, a little bit later, within, again, maybe the next week, 2 weeks or something like that, that we can then get the last and final bed in, and we will have all of our vegetable garden beds in, which is so nice because it's taken us like I think 2 or 3 years now almost to get that finally done. Maybe even a little longer than that, but like every year we'd add like a couple more, but we'll finally have them all done like at one time. And this year is the year that we've added the most, like, and as far as beds go. Like I think we did one full 1.5 on, or maybe, yeah, I think so, on the house side, and then we'll add another full 2 beds on the side away from our house. So like I said, I think that's pretty much, that's almost half of what we actually have. So we did almost half of that in total this year. I think it's a little bit shy of that. The side towards our house, I think we have 3 full and 1/2, and the side away from our house will have 4 full beds. So again, we got almost half of it done like in this year. So anyways, but like doing a full bed, it takes a lot. Normally we only work, like I said, in like half beds. So that'll be pretty cool to have that pretty much done. But like I said, while he was gone, I was staining the wood. Then he ended up coming back, and we ended up putting together my mom's fountain that is in back behind our garage. Now that we got set up, that we bought for her for Mother's Day, but we bought it on Father's Day, or like over Father's Day weekend, because we found that they had one at Menards on clearance. It's so nice. It is like so peaceful back behind the garage. It's like a huge like serenity garden back there, and we're adding potted plants. So we did have 2 bushes, and my mom found at Old Time Pottery these big potted, like big pots on clearance for 15 bucks, and so they were like the perfect size for planting bushes in. And so my mom got 2 bushes. One is a flowering almond that we have, that's the same bush we have in the front yard, and then one is, I don't know what kind, but it was not looking too good actually. A lot of the leaves and branches were dying, so sort of bringing it back to life from that. But we put those, we flanked those on either side. I did take a picture of the water fountain that we have there. And then we have a couple other pots that we have, but nothing's in them as of right now, that we're planning on planting stuff in. But like we'll most likely, in some of them, we'll probably wind up like planting stuff that, you know, like replanting plants every year. Like it's not going to be like bushes, like what's that called, the perennial or annual? I always get the 2 of them confused. Anyways, so yeah, but the 2 bushes will most likely be that. But like then I have lamb's ear, which lamb's ear comes back, and I'm thinking I might want to just plant that in one of those pots back there. Like I said, something like that. But we did wind up getting those planted as well, and that done. And then I ended up doing like a little bit of weeding. Like I just sort of, honestly, I haven't really been like spending like time weeding a whole garden bed. Like I've just sort of been like spot weeding like stuff. If I'm like, oh no, there's weeds in that area or whatever, I've just been pulling this stuff out like whenever I see it. I haven't really been like doing too much, like I'm just gonna spend a whole like half an hour today just like really going through like one bed. I've just been sort of doing, like I said, here and there, and so it actually has been working out somewhat well, I guess. Everything's been somewhat weeded and has been pretty like maintainable, where I don't have to spend like a huge amount of time doing it, because like I said, if I see something, normally I just wind up pulling it out. So we did that. We also too, we had some of this little fencing stuff that we used to keep around our what's it called, our like bird feeders in the back, to keep the dogs away from the area because they would try and eat the bird seed. And while we haven't really been able to keep them entirely away from it, we've done a better job with just not letting them go back there, because they could just fit through the fence anyway. So we had some of this, it was like garden fencing more, but we ended up putting it in our front yard, by our, like the brick part of our house, because we have vinca vine that grows there, and it probably will wind up sort of trellising a little bit up off of it. It doesn't really do that, it sort of stands up on its own, but it would sort of be nice that it like just sort of like vines in with that. It'll look nice. So we did that too, and then we also ended up, I'm trying to think what else we ended up doing today. I feel like there was more stuff that we got done. Like I said, we put the what's it called, the fountain together, and then again, I ended up watering everything too because it was supposed to rain today. Matthew was up actually at 5 o'clock this morning, I think, to go to work, or 4 something, and then left at 5 or started work at 6 or something. I don't know. He was up really early for work today, earlier than normal. I think he normally starts work at 7 or something, but he was up at like 5, and he said that it was sort of drizzling like a good portion of the morning, but like that it wasn't raining very hard. And honestly, it didn't seem like most of the potted plants in the backyard seemed like they dried out too. So I was like, I probably want to just water everything. So I got the hose, went around, watered everything. Today was not a super hot day, which was actually pretty nice. Like I said, that, you know, like it wasn't like 95 degrees. I think it was, again, maybe in the 80s, but there was a point during the day around noon, like between noon to 2 o'clock or something like that, I think, where it was supposed to rain, and it got dark. This is around the time I think my dad went to Menards, so I was in the garage staining because I was like, well, if it starts raining, you know, like no big deal. But it all of a sudden got really cool out, like much cooler. Like it was hotter earlier in the day, like before that, and then it got cooler out. And like I said, I didn't, like, never ended up raining though, but it did get cooler, so that was sort of nice. So I also ended up when we ended up tilling over by the side where we're doing our, again, grilling patio area, we had a bunch of like sort of dirt and like just grass that like we, you know, tilled up. And so it was all dead and there was sort of just a pile of it. So I moved it to where one of our old trees that we used to have in the backyard was. But since then, the dirt where that area was, the stump was, died down. So I just sort of put all the dirt over it because you can tell it's like a big like sort of divot, and so I put a bunch of the dirt, sort of that like dead grass, in that area, and just like, you know, scooped it up and walked it across the yard and then put it in there. And like I said, I also got the staining on the garden beds done, and trying to think, I feel like there was something else too, and a couple other things we ended up doing. But then we did wind up grilling though. We ended up doing the brats for dinner tonight, and I also ended up doing the shrimp just because my mom's like doesn't love the brats, and I only had like 1 per person, so I was like, let's just, you know, like add in some of the shrimp too, which I think I was actually planning maybe to do on Sunday, but I ended up changing that to today. And we did corn, and we had the pasta salads and the macaroni salad and the coleslaw and watermelon, and I still have some cantaloupe that was left over, so that's what we ended up doing for dinner tonight, the brats, and we grilled the what's it called, the shrimp. So I ended up like making that too. I ended up cleaning all that stuff. I ended up cutting up all of the radishes as well and cleaning, you know, like clean those. I cleaned all the leaves too because the guinea pig loves radish tops, like the radish leaves. And so I've been giving those to her, but there was a lot, so I didn't want to give them to her all at one time. So I washed some of it and put it in the fridge so I can give it to her like kind of, you know, within the next couple days as well. And like I said too, I chopped up all the radishes because my dad loves radishes. He loves having them with salad. He loves to just eat them plain. But he said that these, maybe they were just a little bit like, because they weren't as small. I think the smaller ones maybe taste not more bitter, but my dad was saying like they taste very like oniony, like really strong. And so he said though that these ones, because I think they were a little bit bigger, the ones that I was pulling out today, he said that they were much better and like not quite as strong. And that he like loved them, so he's probably, like I said, gonna put them like on his salads and or just snack on them and as normal because my dad likes them. And radishes are a really fast crop to grow. I think from what I read on the seed packet, at least that I had, it says they can be, you know, like mature within like 20 days. So they're like less than a month pretty much to grow. So any fast growing crops that you need radishes are probably the thing. But like I said, my dad really loves them. So that's why like we can grow those and he will like them. Like turnips, I think, are another one of those where they're somewhat fast growing, and beets. But my mom loved beets, but I didn't have much success so far with those. I think carrots don't take too long maybe either. And like I said, I think turnips, but we tried to do turnips I think last year and nobody was a huge fan of them. I didn't mind them too much, but it was one of those two, we might have let them grow too big and so they didn't taste really like amazing. But I don't know. So anyways, like I said, I think that was most of what we ended up getting to for today. And like I said too, then after all of that, I took a shower around dinner time, right after dinner time, so I don't need to shower now. But then after that, me, Jack, and my dad ended up having a little bags tournament in the backyard. We turned on the bistro lights, because I don't think we turned on the bistro lights so far all this year since we've hung them up. So we were back there, and like late in the afternoon, the bugs were a little bit bad. They weren't too horrible like the mosquitoes, but we ended up, like I said, playing bags back there for like maybe a half hour, something like that. But it was nice to like enjoy the weekend, and like, you know, after like a tough day of all the projects and stuff like that, to just go out there and, like I said, just enjoy the backyard, because it's nice. Like, and like at night too, there's something like special about being in the backyard. It feels like its own room, like, because our backyard isn't shaded or anything like that. We have no trees on our property except for the one I got super excited about to share with you guys, the ones they just put in on the parkway. But other than that, we have no trees left on our property, so the sun is blaring down. Like, it just feels very hot and very like exposed, and the elements outdoors. And so when it's nighttime though, it's like the backyard feels like its own like room. And so when like the lights are on and like the sky is black, and like, you know, we have the fence and everything like that, and then, you know, again, we just have like the lights on, it's like you feel like you're in like a bedroom, or like, you know, like the living room, or, you know, like something like that. Like, it just feels very like special and enclosed and stuff like that. And it was nice too, because the fountain was like bubbling back behind the garage and everything like that. Like, it's just very relaxing back there. So anyways, yeah, I filled up the bird feeders too, at least the two in the backyard that were empty. I cut up oranges and put them on the, like, for the Orioles if they're coming around still. I'm a little disappointed because I put peanuts out, like peanuts and peanut shells out, and none of the birds on the platform feeder have come after them. Like, I haven't even gotten any blackbirds, like grackles or anything like that. And normally if like the blue jays aren't eating them, or like any of the other bigger birds, normally the grackles are always the ones after them, and I haven't seen them at all. I saw my little friend Jay, my blue jay friend. I don't know if it's the same one, but I always, whenever I see a blue jay, I always just say that that's him, my friend Jay, because I almost only ever see one at a time, except for that random time when I was actually filming and caught 5 of them in our front yard all at once, and I was like, oh my goodness. But we have a park down the street from us, and so that's where I think that the blue jays normally wind up, like, you know, nesting or whatever. And so they like, I saw one was flying from the park to like somebody else's yard, and I was like, really? Like, and you won't come down the street to mine? I was like, you got peanuts out here. But yeah, like I said, I was a little disappointed. Like, they've been out there now for like 2 weeks, I think, or something like that, and nothing. So tomorrow we are going to work on getting the grilling area all finished and set up. Hopefully I can share that with you guys. But again, we do have to make a couple stops tomorrow in the morning, so hopefully I can be up early. But again, I can just go to bed because I don't got a shower to take or anything. I'm just going to brush my teeth and put my pajamas on and go straight to bed. So again, hopefully I can get up early tomorrow, so that, like I said, we have those errands to run and then a handful of other project things to do. And then because Sunday we really can't do anything because my mom will be sleeping all day, and then even like sort of on the 4th of July, like, she'll probably be sleeping for at least probably close to half the day. We probably won't be able to really do any projects either. It'll just be relaxing and enjoying the weekend. So Sunday and Monday, and then like Tuesday we might be able to get some stuff done, just because my dad will be home on Tuesday and my mom will most likely be up and not, like I said, sleeping or napping or anything like that. You know, we can maybe get to some other stuff then on Tuesday, but we'll be able to sort of just enjoy like Sunday and Monday of 4th of July and not do a whole lot. And like I said, just enjoy the backyard, because like that's what, like, I don't know, 4th of July to me is just always like, we just always spend time in the backyard, like, and so I always want to make sure that like the backyard isn't like really, like, you know, if we have any projects, I want to get them done so that like I get to enjoy them like sort of over that weekend, because that's normally like one of the times when we don't wind up like doing a whole lot. Like I said, as far as like, you know, projects and stuff like that go. So that's why we're trying to get earlier, stuff done earlier, and then, again, be able to relax a little bit more and enjoy like the backyard space, again, over like that weekend. And it's not that we can't enjoy it other times like during the year, it's just, it always seems like it's like a conscious effort to make sure that, like, again, my dad got the bag set for Father's Day, I think, and we were like, let's do that for the 4th of July. Like, it's always like, like our little party holiday sort of, where like we just make sure that like we, again, enjoy the backyard and, again, what it has to offer, and, spend our time back there. And again, like, to set up my mom's fountain that she got for Mother's Day, and then like I found my dad sitting back behind the garage today in like a little lawn chair, because we're going to get a bistro set and a hanging, like, not a hanging, but like a offset umbrella, but we haven't ordered it yet. That was the other gift from my mom for Mother's Day, but we have to get that. So right now we don't have any chairs back there, so I got my dad just out there with like a lawn chair, but it's super nice, like I said, actually being back there, and like, too, like, it's just so peaceful and calming, like, listening to that. So anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.